Okay, today we'll start a new topic called copy controls. So, before understanding what is copy controls, so let us understand the scenario or the functionality or the purpose. So, usually we create order, from order we create delivery, and from delivery we create invoice. So, depending on the requirement of the business, maybe just we may have to create credit memo request, and from credit memo request we may have to create credit memo. Sometimes we may have to create debit memo request, and for that we may have to create debit memo. In the same way we have returns also, okay, like LR and RE. And we have even a pre-sales scenario called inquiry and quotation. So this is a typical cycle of your OTC, order to cash cycle, which includes even your pre-sales. These are the pre-sales documents. We call these two are pre-sales documents, and this section, whatever you see, this is called as compliance, okay, and this is your typical OTC cycle. So we have pre-sales, OTC, and compliance. Now, uh, when I create a delivery, okay, when I create a delivery, I'll use reference of order because I have to tell the system for which order I'm creating the delivery. And once the delivery is created, the invoice will be created either with reference to delivery or with reference to order, depending on the scenario. Now, once this is done, maybe just depending on the complaint, okay, you will have to create either credit memo request or debit memo request or a written document. Okay, so your invoice is used as a reference for creating these documents, and the respective subsequent invoice, this is credit memo, is created with credit memo request, debit memo is created with debit memo request, and return is created with reference to return order. We have even seen why written invoice is with reference to written order. In the same way, when I'm creating an order with reference to quotation, the reference document is quotation, and the target document is OR. So, while creating any subsequent document, we are using a previous transaction or previous sales document as a reference. Now, copy control is all about when you create any document with reference, what, what data to be copied or what to be copied
When to be copied.
and when to be copied. So this is all about copy controls is all about what to be copied and when to be copied. System will first will check when to be copied. Then there are certain predefined conditions. Suppose just I am trying to create a delivery from order. System will check certain details like when to be copied. Just giving an example, maybe we will see it in detail. System will check whether the order is completely maintained or not, whether the order has got any credit block or not, okay, whether there is any status block or billing, I mean delivery block that is there at order, okay, so on and so forth. So system will define certain preconditions, and all these preconditions we will maintain, okay, all these conditions we will maintain in a formula, or that formula is called routine. So maybe this is for the first time you must be hearing this. So we'll maintain, I'll show you this, don't worry. So all these conditions are maintained in a formula, and that formula is given a number. Okay, that number is will have all these predefined conditions. When to be copied is all about your predefined conditions. So conditions means you can copy the data from your source document to target document only when these conditions are fulfilled. Okay, now and these conditions, what are these conditions that we will define and we will update in the form of routine. I'll show you what is routine and how it is how it works. So once the predefined conditions are met or satisfied, then system will check, okay, what data needs to be copied. So just if you take order structure, this is my OR is my header, TAN is my item category, and CP or CN is my schedule line. In the same way, I have delivery type LF and I have item category TAN. Now, what to be copied? In what to be copied, system will maintain information from OR to header. This is order header to delivery header. What information to be copied? Order header to delivery item. What information to be copied? Okay, from schedule lines to item, what information to be copied, and item to item, what information to be copied. So when I say what to be copied, we are actually referring to this. So here copy controls is all about what to be copied and when to be copied. So first the system will check whether my target document is ready to get copied data from my source document. So system has to fulfill certain conditions. Now all the copy control transactions, listen this carefully. If you understand this, copy control is easy. All the copy controls transactions starts with a transaction code VTXX. Okay, so what is VTXX? I'll explain. So this is a scenario where you are copying data from order to order. Okay, this is also quotation is order and this is order. This is an order type and this is an order type. Okay, we have one scenario where we are copying data from my order to one order to another order type. Okay, then the second scenario, order to delivery. So the second scenario is where I wanted to copy the data from order to delivery. Okay, third scenario is copying data from delivery to invoice or billing. So this is my delivery document, and from here I'm copying to delivery to invoice. And fourth scenario, this can be your fourth scenario. What is that? Your invoice to order. Okay, your invoice to order. Okay, and this scenario what you are seeing here, this is order to order again. Okay, this is order to invoice. Okay, you have another scenario which is called order to invoice. Okay, and we have another scenario like when you actually cancel your invoice document F2, that can actually generate another invoice type, cancelled invoice type called S1. So to maintain copy controls, okay, this we maintain under section invoice to invoice. So copy control can be broadly classified based on this is my source document is in order and my target document is in order. This is the case. Okay, order to quotation to order or invoice to quotation. So my source document is in order and my target document is also in order. In the same way, order to delivery, like from here to here, my source document is in order and my target document is in delivery. So this is an example. Now, what is this transaction? If I want to maintain the copy controls, system will use certain transaction which is called VTXX. So how this transaction is arrived? Okay, now just you have we have three components. We have order, delivery and invoice. In a typical scenario, we have these three. Listen this carefully. Invoice. Now what is the transaction for this? VA01, and the transaction for this is VL01N, and the transaction for this is VF01. Okay, now just what is the second letter here? In this case it is A. What is the second letter here? In this case it is L. What is the second letter here? In this case it is F. There is a reason just why we are trying to understand. Just I'll take that second letter. This is A, this is L and this is F. Okay, these are the second letters in the respective transaction. Maybe SAP has given the naming convention based on the second letter, because the first letter denotes V. V means sales. In SAP, V means sales. So for all these transaction codes, first letter is same, but the second letter denotes whether it is an order or a delivery or an invoice. Now, suppose when I want to create copy controls between order to order, okay, when I say order to order, my order is source and my target is also order. So your VTXX, okay, in VTXX, the first X will denote what is the letter. Okay, so here what is my target? Target is order. What is the target letter? A. And what is my source letter? Source letter is also A, because it is order to order. So that is the reason it is maintained as VTAA is a transaction. Now maybe now just you will understand it more clearly. So just when you try to maintain copy controls for this, the initial two letters is same. VT is common. Now first you have to maintain in this order to delivery, what is the target? Hello?
Sir.
What is the target? Target is delivery. So for
Delivery.
delivery, what is the letter? L. And what is the source? Order. So for order, what is the letter? A. So
A.
the transaction is VTLE. Now you tell me this. Now just I wanted to maintain copy controls between delivery to invoice. So what would be the transaction? VT.
VT. Uh,
First you have to
L.
take. First you
L.
have to take the target.
Target. Target is
For invoice, it is F.
F.
Right. And for my what is the target here in this case? L. So
L.
what does it mean? When you say VTFL, then it means the data will be copied from source L, that is delivery, to target F, that is invoice. Okay. Now maybe just I'll give you another scenario. Let's try to find out. Now you wanted to maintain copy controls between invoice to order. What would be my transaction? VT.
VT. Target is order.
Hmm. So
Target is order.
first we have to maintain this
A.
and
And
source
source is invoice. Invoice is
F,
F.
right? You understood the logic. So
Yes.
VT is the common, and these two letters denotes the subsequent transaction letters, and in this the first letter belongs to target and the second letter belongs to your source. Okay, your source. Now we have another scenario, this scenario where we are creating order,
Yes.
and this is invoice. We are creating invoice with reference to order. Now my source is order and my target is invoice. So what would be the transaction code? VT.
VT. F. A.
Hmm?
VTFA.
VT.
FA.
FA. Excellent. So this is how your nomenclature of copy controls works. So just you need to remember this nomenclature, like how this transaction code is structured. Okay. Now first we will see how the copy controls are maintained between quotation and order. So if you know this, you can understand how the copy controls are maintained between inquiry to quotation. Okay. So now just we wanted to maintain copy controls between order to order. What is the transaction? VT
VTAA.
AAM, right? So just you go here, you directly maintain VT AAM. So just you maintain, just read what comes here. So when you execute transaction VTAA, okay, when you execute transaction VTA, it says order to order copy control, because here my target is order and it is getting copied from the source order document type. Okay, even my source is an order document type and target is also an order document type. So this is how you actually maintain copy control between one source to another target document. Okay, now this is one way. So I have shown you the transaction code which we can use for maintaining copy controls. In another way, just you can go to SPRO, sales reference IMG. You can go even from the path. Okay, SPRO, sales reference IMG. You have this sales and distribution. Okay, here you have sales. See, you can see maintain copy control
Copy.
for sales documents. So this is the path that you have to use whenever you wanted to copy the data from one sales document to another sales document. Okay, just I'll copy this path. So this is used whenever you wanted to create, okay, whenever you wanted to maintain copy controls between one sales document to another sales document. So this is first path. So now I'll execute this path, and it will directly, it will again direct you to the same transaction. You can see the transaction code here. So when I say sales document to sales document, so either I can use this for copying data from sales document to sales document, that is your inquiry to quotation or quotation to order. Now in the same node I can maintain even copy controls between billing document to sales document. Okay, why sales document? So in this activity, whenever my document target document is a sales document, you have an option to maintain copy controls here. So billing to sales document, we have seen an example here. So billing to sales document, so this is my sorry, where is it? Okay, so this is my invoice, and invoice I am creating in an order. Okay, even this scenario, okay, I can maintain here. Now I will just check this copying sales document to sales document. If you double click it, okay, if you double click it, it will again take you to the transaction VTAA. Okay, it will again take you to the transaction VTAA. Okay. It's taking time. When you execute
Sir,
it, yes, please.
when we open any new transaction for first time, it is taking time, sir.
Hmm?
Am I correct?
Sorry?
When we open new transaction anytime in SAP, it is taking time. Am I
First
correct?
time when you open any new transaction in the server, it will take time because this is a test server. Because system will take time to compile all the programs that are associated with this transaction. Yeah,
Sir, is the interface same in our live server? I mean office server?
same.
Same.
Maybe just if time permits, come one day,
Sure, sir.
I'll show you the live server. See, it will take you to VTAA, same transaction. Either you can go from the transaction directly. Okay, VTAA is the transaction for sales document to sales document, and if you click on billing document to sales document, it is VTAF because A is, okay, see, A is your target and F is your source. So you are trying to copy source invoice to order. So that is how your transaction code works. Now just let us understand the copy controls between sales document to sales document today. Okay. Now we are trying to understand the configuration settings that are there between your sales document to one sales document to another sales document. So here we are going to take example of copying data between inquiry, quotation and order. So what is the item category here for inquiry? It is AFN,
Yes.
AGN and this is TAN. So understand here your source document has got different order type and target document has got different sales document type and even your item categories are different. But in this case, okay, this is TAN and this is TAN. Here the item category is same, but in this case the item category in my source is different from that of target. So in this case, how we have to proceed, that also just we will see today. Okay, now I have executed VTAA. It will take to me a place where I can maintain copy control between one source document to target document. Now just these are already maintained, so just click on position. Okay, the first one would be your target and the second one would be your source. So I wanted to maintain copy controls between your quotation and order. Okay, now the data copy control between your quotation and order. So when I say copy control, it again just talks about these two. Okay, what to be copied and when to be copied. So when I say copy controls, it always talks about these two, what to be copied and when to be copied. Now just let me close this. Now this is what I wanted to understand. Suppose you have your own custom document type. So business wanted you to create your own custom document types. Then just maybe suppose you have created your custom document type ZOR and your custom quotation type as GQT. So which you have created, copied from the standard and you have given your own name. So in this case, you have to create your copy controls between these two. Okay. So in that case, you have to create copy controls between these two. Now just double click. Okay, if you see the copy controls, you need to maintain at each level. So header level, how the data is passed and when the data is passed. Item level, when the data is passed and what data is passed. And at schedule lines level, same, the two questions. Now we will see all the three steps one at a time. Now just double click on this. Just double click on this. Now, so here, what is my target? My target is, this is OR. And what is my source? Source is quotation. So when you are using a quotation to create a sales order, okay, when you are creating a sales order referring a quotation, so this is how the data gets copied, or this is how, okay, this is how the data is copied from your quotation header to order header. So we will see one by one. So first, copying requirements. So as I said, requirements are nothing but your predefined rules. So we have defined certain rules, okay, when the data needs to be copied from quotation to order. So system will check whether these rules are met, okay, whether these rules are met or not. So just open this. So as I said, we will define certain rules, and those rules are put in a number, which is called a routine. I'll explain how these routines, what are these routines and all in pricing. So till that time, understand. So all these rules are configured, or all these rules are stored in a place, and that place will be given a number. Okay, so 001 is given a number in 001. This is called a routine number. Okay, so just go to this one. Okay, this is the one whatever you are seeing here, and you can see there is something called source text. Okay, so this is actually done by ABAP. You will understand it slowly, maybe by the end of today's session, what is this routine and all. So we have, in copying requirements, we have updated a number which is called routine. So what this one will check, it will check whether the validity period of the reference document is active or not. So when I try to create a order referring a quotation, what system will check? System will check whether the quotation is still valid or not. That is the first condition. So this is when I say when I use words, normal words, so the system will check the validity period. But for system to understand it, we will write the same thing in coding. Okay, where we can actually check the validity periods. So this is actually, this code is written by ABAP. Okay, this code is written by ABAP. So for the first condition, it will check whether the validity of the reference document is still active or not. Okay, and the second, whether the customer of the target document and the source document are same or not. Okay, now, so why this is important? Suppose you have created quotation for customer A. Okay, and but you want to use this quotation for creating a customer B. So system will check whether these two customers are same or not. Okay, whether there are two customers in the source and target system same or not. If they are same, okay, then what should be the case? If they are different, what should be the case? That is what is actually maintained here. It will check now whether the sales organization is same for the both source and target document. So just I'm going to show you all these predefined conditions, maybe for one or two routines, and rest of the things you can find it on your own. So suppose in our case, I have created quotation for German sales organization, but I'm trying to use that quotation for creating order for our Canadian sales organization. So in that case, system will check whether the source and target should have same sales organization or not. So if it is not same, it will not allow. And in the same way, whether the distribution channel is same or not, or the division is same or not. So in total, what it is checking, whether the sales area of your target document and your source document are same or not. Otherwise, don't allow. And what is the other message? Okay, so these are all the certain predefined uh, conditions, and the most important is whether the quotation is completely maintained or not. Okay, so whether this quotation is completely maintained or not. So now we have defined some 5 conditions, and these 5 conditions are stored in a number. Okay, these 4 are stored or these 5 conditions are stored in a number which is 001. Okay, when I'll give these logics to my ABAPer, and he will write a code, and that code is stored in a number. For time being, understand only up to that extent. I will explain at later stage what is these numbers, how they are created. I will explain it at later point of time. Okay, now all these conditions are stored in this number, and this number is assigned here. Okay, this number is assigned here. So all these conditions are written in this number, and this number is assigned here. We have already discussed. So copying requirements. So when I say requirements, from here on, whenever you see this word requirement, requirement is nothing but your predefined conditions. So when you create an order from a quotation, system will check some 4 parameters. What is that? The quotation has to be complete. Then next, the customer has to be same. The sales area has to be same. so on and so forth. Like that, just system will check all these conditions. Okay, system will check all these conditions. So once the conditions are met, so this is what I am talking about, when to be copied. So when to be copied is system will understand from the requirement. So copying, what is this requirement for? For copying the data, system has to fulfill these requirements, or system has to fulfill these predefined rules. Now these predefined rules we have configured in a routine, and that routine is maintained here. Routine is, for time being, understand it is a number, that's it. Okay, now so this will tell you, okay, now all the conditions are fulfilled. We have maintained the document completely. The validity periods are correct. The customer is same. The sales area is also same. Then this quotation is ready to get copied. Then what is this? Copy item number. Okay, just if you check. So what is the purpose of this? So say for example, just we'll take another example. Now just we are trying to maintain copy controls between your quotation. Okay, in quotation I have two line items, 10, or maybe I have three line items, 1, 2, 3. Okay, in quotation I have maintained line items 1, 2, 3. So where do I maintain these item numbers, number ranges? Where do I can maintain this? Okay, in quotation, if I maintain, if I create items, it should be numbered 1, 2, 3. Where do I maintain this?
Controls.
So in,
Okay.
yes, exactly. In Vivo V8 controls, if you go to Vivo V8 controls, okay, if you go to Vivo V8 controls, so just if you go to quotation, here, item number increment. Suppose here instead of 10, 1 is there. So when you put 1, so when you create quotation, quotation will be numbered 1, 2, 3. Whereas for your order, you have maintained in Vivo V8, it is 10. So 10, 20 and 30. This is how it works. Now, whenever you are referring, or whenever you are creating an order from a quotation, whether you want in the order, whether you want it to have numbers like this or like this. So this will be actually defined here. Okay, this will actually define here. When you say copy item number, when you click on this, whatever item numbers that you have in your source document, they will be copied. So here, when you create an order, even that will have 1, 2, 3. But if you don't copy it, if you don't, if you don't select this, okay, sorry, if you don't select this, system will again determine the item numbers based on your order type Vivo V8. Okay, item number based on order type Vivo V8. Okay, what is this complete reference? Just the same example. Okay, complete reference, see, indicates whether system copies sales document completely. That means, okay, I will show you what is the purpose of this. Let us create, we will take test scenarios for a few important controls. So let us say I'm creating a quotation. Okay, let us say I'm creating a quotation with 3 line items. Okay, let us say I'm creating a quotation with 3 line items. Okay, QT is the document, VA21 is the transaction. I'm creating it for my German entity. Okay, my German entity. Copy controls is very important topic. You need to practice. Okay, and you need to remember the concept and the functionality of each indicator. Okay, so just try to practice. Test copy controls. Just I'll maintain. Okay, so just I'm maintaining purchase order number here. Here I am maintaining the valid from, okay, it is valid from today till month end. Okay, this is what the validity. Okay, this is what system was checking, whether the this quotation is within the validity period or not. Okay, I'm creating 3 line items. Maybe just each line item I'll give a different number. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and I'll take the order quantity as 10. Sorry, I'll maintain 10, 20, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm creating a quotation with 3 items. Okay, so why we are discussing this, we wanted to see what is complete reference, and in the same scenario we'll see the item numbers also. Okay, now I am creating a quotation with 3 line items. Okay, 3 line items with different quantities. The materials can be different, but in this case I have taken the same material. Okay, so materials can be different. Now I'll maintain the pricing for each of this. Maybe so I'll maintain even pricing for this. So here is just if you click, it will take you to the next item. Okay, so now I am in line item 20. I'll maintain line item 20. Don't bother about the pricing. Just for making this document complete, just we are maintaining the pricing. That's it. Okay, and I'll maintain the pricing. Okay, now everything is maintained, and I'll check whether this document is completely maintained or not. Just I'll check. So document is complete. I'll save. So I have created a quotation with 3 line items. Okay, maybe these three can be a different materials or same materials. Okay, and with different quantities. Now I will use this quotation. Okay, I will use this quotation to create an order. And while creating an order, just we will understand how system will respond to these two parameters. How system will respond to these two parameters. One is copy item number and complete reference. So here complete reference is not active. So I will see what is the result since this is not checked. Since this is not checked, how system will respond. Then in next case we will make that field active and we will see. So we have a quotation. Okay, this is my quotation. Okay, this is my quotation. Now I will use this quotation for creating an order. Okay, what is the transaction for order? VA01. This is the transaction for creating an order. VA01. Okay, OR. So here, create with reference. You can maintain quotation reference as mandatory for creating order. Where can you do that?
Vivo V8.
Excellent. In Vivo V8, you can mandate the reference, or you can create with reference to quotation here. Yeah. Okay. Now just I'll do here, and I'll say copy. I'll say copy. So there are two options. One is copy and another one is item selection. I will show you what is the purpose of these two. So in the first scenario, I have selected copy and we will see what will happen. In the second scenario, I will select item selection. Okay, then we will see what will happen. Okay, I have selected copy in the first scenario. When I have selected copy, all the three items are copied automatically. All the three items are copied. Now we will see what is the other option that is available. So VA01 create with reference. This is a quotation, and when I select the other option, here SAP will give me an option whether see every line item is checked. Okay. Now suppose I wanted only 1 and 2 to be copied, but I don't want 3 to be copied. Then just I'll unselect and I'll click on copy. Then the order will be created only for first two items. You don't see three items. So when you use the reference, SAP has given two options. Whether you wanted to create all the line items, or whether you wanted to copy all the line items, or whether you wanted to create your target document for specific line items. If you select copy, everything will be copied, and if you select item selection, system will give you an option. So I'll select copy. Okay, I'll select copy. Now observe here the item number is 1 2 3, but whereas in my Vivo V8 I have maintained 10, so ideally it should be 10 20 30, but 1 2 3 has come because here you have maintained copy the item number from the source. Okay, that is the reason in quotation it is 1 2 3, and that is the reason your item numbers are copied. And when I say complete reference, if I click on complete reference, everything is copied. Every line item is copied. Just you cannot have the partial quantities. Okay, everything is copied with the fullest quantity. Complete reference means that. And if you observe, your P1 number is not copied from your quotation. So whatever your P1 number is there, it is not copied from your quotation, and your price is also copied. Now let us take a scenario. VA22 is my quotation. Okay, VA22 is my quotation. So I'll keep this as some with some past due date. Okay, I'll keep this with some past due date. Maybe this is valid only from 10th of August to 20th of August. Okay, 10th of August to 20th of August. And now I will use this quotation to create an order again. I'll use this quotation to create an order. System will give me a message now, because the first condition is we have defined, okay, for copying, the validity date of this quotation should be intact, but this quotation what we are going to use is expired now. Now we will see how system will respond now. Okay, now just I'll create an order. Okay, I'll take the reference. Okay, I'll take the same reference and I'll click. See, you will get this message. So why you are getting this message? Because in my copying requirements, I have maintained that validity period also needs to be checked. Okay. So as of now, whenever you are getting anything in yellow, this is just a warning. Warning is an information. Now it is an information and it will tell you, okay, there is an exception whether you want it to proceed or not. Whenever anything comes in yellow, it is just a warning. That means an information purpose. You still be able to surpass that warning and continue. Okay, in general, whenever you get anything in yellow, that is a warning. You still be able to continue and create. But if it is error, system will not allow you to proceed further. Okay, now we have seen what are the predefined conditions. So we have seen system will check the validity period, the sales area, the customer, so on and so forth. Now these are the conditions. Now the conditions are met, then this section, okay, even here you can see numbers. Okay, these are numbers here. Here we have defined conditions in this number, but here we will define what data needs to be copied. Okay, what data needs to be copied. So 051 means how the general data, okay, how the header data has to be copied from your quotation to your order. So here also just we have ABAPer will write, okay, the date of delivery from where it should pick. Okay, if at all just we have any picking time, how it should be picked. Okay, if the customer where it should pick the customer master, and where it should pick from, pick the exchange rate details. So everything is maintained here. Okay, in the same way we have business data. What is business data? We have already discussed. Where did we see this business data before? What is business data? Business data is the data that is there in the order under the tab sales, shipping and billing. Now, how the business data should be copied, or what data should be copied, which is there under business data section. So just if you click on this, so in business data, just you will tell, okay, how the pricing should be copied, okay, how the pricing date should be copied, okay, and see here pivot data should not be copied. Here just we have maintained the pivot data should not be copied. So because of this reason, system is not copying your pivot information from your quotation to your order. Okay, don't you will understand these routines, okay, shortly. Maybe tomorrow session just maybe I'll give you an explanation of routines, but for time being understand these are called routines, and each routine has got certain coding involved in it. And the routine what you are seeing here, it is meant for what data to be copied, and the routine what you are seeing here it is meant for when to be copied. Now here this will tell you what partner function should be copied from your quotation to order. Okay, so this will tell you what partner functions, like how the partner functions means how the different partners that are there. Okay, so how the partners, so how the sold to party should be copied from one document to another document is actually configured here. Just understand the concept. You don't have to remember these numbers. Okay, these numbers you are not expected to remember. Okay, but what you are expected is the purpose of this number, and if it is maintained in copying section, what is its purpose, and I mean if it is maintained in the requirement section, what is its purpose. In the requirement section, it will define certain rules when the data should be copied. Okay, and if it is maintained here, what data should be copied. Are you getting it now? Any questions so far?
Sir, if you give the check, if you don't give the check mark here, copy item number.
Then order will have its own item number 10,
Okay.
20,
Okay.
30. Okay. Now,
Based on this control only,
yes, this will control.
the order will be executed.
Yes. Now, this is how you want the data to be copied from quotation header to order header. Now, how the item data should be copied? Just you have to click on item here. So as I said, we have three sections, right? Okay, we have three sections. So in quotation, it is QT. This is header. Even your quotation has got header, item. Okay. In the same way, your order has header, item, and so on. So now, just if I go item level, if I go at item level, here just you need to remember the quotation item category is AGN and order item category is TAN. Now your quotation item category is AGN and your order item category is TAN. Just a minute. Okay, by the time this comes, I have already maintained certain data here. So just because this is very important topic, that is why just I have created some screenshots from different materials that are available. Copy controls comes into picture when we are creating a document with reference to another document. Okay, copy controls will help to copy data from source to target document. So you can do copy controls between sales document to sales document. The examples are inquiry to quotation or quotation to order, and just don't bother about this. Just I have not discussed this process. QC is quantity contract. Okay, so on and so forth. And you can maintain copy. You can see the transaction code VTAA. That means you are here. My source is order, and my target is also order. That is the reason it is VTAA. And you have the logic how the T code is structured. Okay, the first X is the target document and the second X is for your source document. So the second letter is taken into consideration. So this is how just you have some five or six different scenarios. So how VTAA has come, how VTLA has come, how VTFL has come, you can see it here. So you have different scenarios. SD2 invoice, okay, what are the scenarios? You can create your return invoice with reference to return order. In the same way, your credit memo is created with reference to credit memo request. So that is the example where you create an invoice with reference to order. So for those cases, the transaction that we need to maintain is VTFA. Okay, so on and so forth. Now, so we are going to discuss all these one by one. Okay, so let us go and see. I will take you through all this information tomorrow, one by one. Okay, I think this is taking time. So here you have all the item categories are maintained. You have all the item categories are maintained. So here just you have to maintain the item category AGN. So here you have maintained item category. Your source item category you need to maintain. Okay, your source item category. What is the source item category? AGN. So now at item level, okay, at item level, what is my copying requirement? Copying requirement nothing but your predefined rules. Your predefined rules. So 301 is maintained. So what is 301? So it says if any item is with rejection status updated, it should not be copied. Now, before understanding what is rejection, okay, before understanding 301, let us understand what is rejection. Now, say for example, VA22 is my transaction code for creating this quotation. So you have created this quotation, okay, but now just I'll change the validity period. I'll change the validity period to end of the month so that it is active. Now you have created quotation for this customer, okay, and because of some reason you don't want to use this third line item for subsequent processing. Okay, you don't want to use this third material for subsequent processing. You don't want this particular material to be used for creating orders. But you can do it in two ways. You can directly simply delete this line item. You can delete this line item. Then this line item will be deleted. But your request from the business is you wanted to have this item in the quotation, but the business don't want this item to be used for creating an order. So you have an option here. You have an option here, reason for rejection. So you can update, okay, line item 30, okay, customer has rejected this item. So he has asked quotation for it, but he has rejected it because we are unable to deliver in time. So just I wanted to keep a track of it, why the customer rejected this item. So you have an option called reason for rejection here. So I will update reason the customer has rejected line item 3. Here all the materials are same, but imagine 10 line material 10, material 11, material 12. Then customer has rejected material 12 because we are unable to deliver the material, okay, uh, as per the customer expectations. Now just we have updated reason for rejections for line item 3. Now let us create a sales order now using reference. Okay, create reference. This is my quotation. Now just I'll copy it. I'll copy it, and if you go here, you can only see two. You can only see two. You cannot see third one. Why you cannot see third one? Why? What could be the reason?
We have selected only two items.
No, I have not selected. I have just copied everything.
Third item is rejected, sir.
Yes, third item is rejected. So where do we have that in system, that any item if it is rejected it should not be copied. So that particular rule is maintained in 301. So if item is rejected, don't copy. So the meaning of this is, just I will show you the coding part. So the meaning of this, so do not copy any rejected items. So since my line item 3 is rejected, so that then we have maintained do not copy that particular item. Okay, so what we are saying, do not copy the completed items or rejected items. So we have seen what is rejection, but what is completed? So I have a quotation. Okay, I have a quotation. 1 is for 10 tons and 2 is for 20 tons and 3 is for 30 tons. So I have created one order. Okay, I have created one order where I have used some 5 tons. Okay, and I have used complete 20 tons here, and I have used complete 30 tons for creating an order. So when I create an order next time, okay, I can create multiple orders using the same quotation, but when I create an order next time, these two line items are completely referenced. You can see the complete quantity has been referenced. So when you create an order next time, system will not copy these two line items, because here we have maintained do not copy any line item that is completed, or do not copy any line item that is rejected. So where this logic is maintained, this logic or this predefined rule is maintained here. Okay, 301. Okay, 301. Okay, now any doubts on this? You don't have to remember these numbers. Okay, you don't have to remember these numbers, but understand the functionality. There are some numbers which are expected by you to remember. I will explain what you need to remember. Till the time, understand the concept. So your copying requirement will tell you when to copy. So when the data should be copied, it should be copied when nothing is rejected and nothing is completed. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So this positive and negative quantity. So to understand this, let us take an example again. Okay, just we'll take one item, example of one line item. So I have created quotation for 10. First I have created order for 5. So how much is still open in the quotation? 5 is still open. That means we can still create an order for another 5. Okay. So how system will understand? Okay. So the total value is 10. I have already used 5. So my open quantity, or the quantity that is still that I can use for creating order is 5. Okay, maybe since it is same, you are getting okay. Maybe there is a confusion. Okay, let us take. I have created order for 10, and I have created quotation for 10, and I have created order for 6. So how much is left now? 4. So how system will understand the leftover open quantity in the quotation is 4 because it will debit or it will deduct the quantities that are already ordered, that are already referenced. Okay, it will deduct that quantity and it will update. Okay, it will update. I will show you how this works. Okay, now just I'll go to this quotation. Pay attention, guys. I'll go to this quotation VA22. Okay, just because just I wanted to understand, so just I'll remove these two. I'll delete, or I can put reason for rejection. Just I can delete it. Okay, I have shown you this. Now we'll take the same example. In the first case, I'll create an order for 6 tons. Okay, this is quotation for 10 tons. Now I'll create an order for 6 tons. So how I can create? I'll go to VA01. Okay, create with reference, take. So when I say copy, the complete quantity is copied, but I wanted only for 6 tons. This first order I wanted only for 6 tons. So I'll save this order. I'll not maintain anything. So I have used that quotation for creating an order with 6 tons. Now if you go to the quotation and if you check it, if you go to the quotation, no, don't bother about it. Okay, and maybe just if you go to the status, okay, just a minute. Okay, this is dated on 20th, right? 29th. Okay, just there. Now just I have used this quotation. Okay, I have used this quotation for creating an order for 10 quantities. Now this time I will use the same quotation for creating an order. Okay, I'll use the same quotation for creating an order. Now see what will happen. The reference has been completely copied or rejected. Just a minute, whether we have rejected anything. Okay. Did we see anything called completion rule before?
Yes, sir.
Ekada, where did we see this completion rule?
While creating order.
No, no. Where is this control for completion rule? Completion rule అని ఎక్కడ చూసాం మనం? We have discussed.
Appoint tabs.
ఇక్కడ కాదు, in controls.
In controls.
That is the reason I said controls or basics. So if you go to, so before coming to tomorrow's session, okay, just go through this control. We have already discussed. Okay, if you go to your quotation, you see there is a completion rule here in item category. So what is this A means? Your A means item is completed with the first reference. So because of this reason, okay, even though we have referred only 6 tons, but since that quotation is already used or referred for creating one order, the status of that particular quotation is updated as completed. So once it is completed, it cannot be used again. So before coming to tomorrow's session, just go through this particular completion rule. Okay, and this completion rule will have even an impact on your positive and negative quantity. Okay, and it will have an impact, or it will have relation on your quotation completeness status. So just if you go here, if you go and see your quotation status, so that is the reason. Okay, that is the reason you can see it is completed. So why it is completed even though just you have referred only partial quantity? Because even if a single order is created referring this quotation, even if the single order is referred once, then the document is completed. So tomorrow when we do testing, then just we will change this to some other indicator and we will rerun the scenario and we will try to understand how system will behave. So how system will behave if we change from A to B. Okay, how system will behave, then we will see it. Okay. Okay. So before that, try and revise what is this completion rule. So that is the reason just I said these controls are important. Okay. So I hope you understood the concept of copy controls. So we are going to take a good amount of time, 2-3 days more, and we will try and understand all the controls that we have at all these scenarios. Okay, first we'll finish quotation to order, and most important, okay, most important are order to delivery and delivery to invoice. So just before coming to these, I wanted you to understand the flavor of this copy controls. Okay, yeah, that's it
Okay,
from
sir.
my end. I'll share the recording. Just you can go through it. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So much.